Hello, good evening. You're watching News 360 from the News Hub. I am Portia Gabo.
I am Issa Moni. We have the headlines for tonight coming up in a moment.
360 Headlines is brought to you by...
And in the headlines, 420 Ghanaian programs arriving in Medina, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, to begin a 30-day key Islamic tenet.
Danger looms at Akwemufi in the eastern region as a huge rock hangs loose on main road linking area to Atimpoko Adome and other communities.
Also, tonight we tell you about the travails of Ghanaian fishermen living in Benin in our special series. And later we explore the spiritual world, the struggles for economic breakthrough in Kleko in the Volta region.
We have details of our stories coming up shortly. Do stay with us.
Right, and tonight we begin with the story of the pilgrims who are traveling to Saudi Arabia. TV3 can confirm that the 420 Ghanaian pilgrims who were airlifted Friday, August 11, 2017, from the Tamale International Airport in the northern region have arrived safely in Medina in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to commence 30 days of a key Islamic tenet. The pilgrims were airlifted from the Tamale International Airport in a Flynas Airbus A330 at exactly 9:51 p.m. Friday after a government delegation led by the Vice President Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia bid them farewell. After the 24 hours wait, pilgrims were finally airlifted in the Airbus A330, which arrived at the Tamale International Airport at about 6:18 p.m. The flight, which was a small version of the Lion brand, airlifted the 420 pilgrims instead of the 506 scheduled to be airlifted. Right, we understand another Airbus A320 from Flynas has landed at Tamale International Airport to airlift the second batch of the pilgrims to Medina in Saudi Arabia. Our reporter is Zubaida Ismail, who is joining us on phone now to tell us about the situation at Tamale International Airport. Zubaida, good evening, if you can hear me. And how many pilgrims are to be lifted from Tamale as part of the second batch?
This evening we have a total of 431 pilgrims that are expected to arrive at the Tamale International Airport from the Tamale Hajj village to be airlifted by the Lion, which has already landed a flight. Airbus A330 has already landed and is expected to airlift a total of 431 pilgrims tonight.
Is that the last batch of pilgrims we're seeing from Tamale International Airport?
No, please. What we know is that a total of 5 flights are scheduled to leave Tamale, and so far this is the second one. We are expecting the third one same time tomorrow, and then subsequent one as the day goes by. But then we know that by the end of Wednesday, every pilgrim here in the northern region should have been in Medina.
So what atmosphere can you capture from the Tamale International Airport? Are the pilgrims relaxed and comfortable, or they are a bit agitated and worried?
Before yesterday they were worried, and then of course today, because today we were expecting the flight to actually arrive around 5:30, and so that was what was communicated to the pilgrims. And so for the flight to delay 2 hours, they got a bit worried. That is, they are at the Hajj village. They were a bit worried. But once this was communicated to them that the flight is in, they seem more relaxed now. Currently, I am told, because I am at the airport and a colleague is at the Hajj village, I'm told they are busing the passengers to bring them here to the airport so that they can board the flight.
Right, I'm sure we'll be speaking to you some more from the Tamale International Airport to give us the date when the next flight scheduled to pick Muslims to Saudi Arabia will arrive. Thank you very much, Zubaida Ismail.
Let's now go to the Volta region, where practitioners of the Trokovi tradition say the effective spiritual connection between the human spirit and clay strengthens one's inner commitment and enhances spiritual breakthrough. This is why at the annual Trokovi festival at Kleko in the Ketu South district, hundreds of women struggle for mixed clay and water to enable them commune with the gods.
Practitioners of African traditional religions say women control the earth's fertility and are renowned rainmakers. They say women deal directly and personally with the gods and are most of the times given credit with inventing and discovering foodstuff. Here at the Togwi Ajima Shrine at Kleko, these women sit round their pots and woven baskets ready to perform the day's spiritual exercise. Before embarking on the journey to begin the ritual, the women receive special prayers from the chief priest. These women, mostly fiashidis, meaning betrothed virgin girls, had to form groups of two to go fetch clay and water. Walking a measured way without talking. When they were fetching the water, a lot of them were talking, discussing, but immediately they carried the pot on their head and they started moving. Silence is the order of the day. This is also significant for what they do. Upon reaching the shrine, the water is mixed with the clay to usher in the spiritual exercise, Ibali, which almost resulted into a stampede. But what is the essence of this exercise?
The problem is coming more and more. Everybody wants to come and say what is worrying him. That is why people are still coming many like this. We were created from clay. Any sins that we did, we have to solve it with the clay. That is why when the time comes like it, everybody wants to wash the sins that he did and solve that problem.
African religion practitioners believe mystical and mysterious powers can be transmitted through objects such as clay, which is connected between the human spirit and the divinities. Thus, one's effective prayer at the shrine is expected to be sent to specific destinations for an intended good. From Kleko, Nana Kweku Edua for TV3 News.
And there is an easy calm among over 860 Ghanaian fisherfolks living in Akpakpa Dodome near Benin capital Cotonou following a planned demolition and eviction of their community. Now, the intended eviction is in line with the government of Benin's program of action, which commenced in December last year, aimed at improving the standard of cities, towns, and tourist sites in that country.
Ghanaian fishermen plying their trade away from Ghana's coast. They are descendants of older Ghanaians who reportedly founded Akpakpa Dodome, a community in Benin, some 72 years ago. The forebearers migrated from several places, including Seme in Benin-Nigeria border, Ewukoji and Jankokoji, before finally settling here in 1945, with these straw houses serving as their permanent abode. Their main occupation here is fishing and fishmongering. Life at Akpakpa Dodome seemed to be a safe haven for the Ghanaian migrants, but the Ghanaian community here could return to Ghana soon. In January this year, the government of Benin issued a directive asking the Ghanaian community, comprising an adult population of over 860 and nearly 4,000 children, to relocate. Reasons assigned to this unexpected demand relate to a pending sea defense project, a national program of action of Benin aimed at a nationwide facelifting of cities and towns, as well as the expansion of the port of Cotonou.
We received the news with shock, especially when it appears we do not have anyone to tend to. We have children, nursing mothers, and pregnant women. How do we relocate these people, and to where?
Relocating requires a lot which we are not ready for. So we are pleading that they should consider us and if possible give us a relocation package.
The choice now for the Ghanaian community is either to return home voluntarily or be forcefully evicted, as the government of Benin remains resolute on its decision.
For all these years we have lived here on this land. How is it that the government of Benin would want to evict us as though we are animals? They must give us a place to move to.
We do not have money to rent accommodation. Besides, it is not possible to move our Dukobi business into other communities.
There are also allegations of deliberate attempt to deport the Ghanaians from Benin in order to sell the land to private developers. Our investigations have revealed the original demarcation ends here, about 50 meters from the Ghanaian community. Additionally, the fisher folk say they cannot understand why this slum community has been excluded from the intended eviction, even though it is in the way of the port expansion project.
What will we do if we do not have money to return home or rent a new place? The Benin authorities must treat other nationals with care.
The July 28 deadline for eviction may have elapsed, but does that mean the exercise has been halted?
The project is one of the priority projects that they have moved around the world to secure funding for. And they may never want to defer that project, because this is a project that is dear to the government's heart, and it's a project that they need to do. So I don't anticipate that because of this situation, they would defer that project.
Efforts at getting a response from the Minister for Development proved futile, as he was reportedly in an engagement outside Cotonou. While the Ghanaian population in Akpakpa-Deme seem to enjoy the delay in eviction, they do have in mind that the project implementers could move in anytime soon. They are, however, hopeful of an amicable outcome in their favor.
Meanwhile, the Ghana Embassy in Benin has appealed to the concerned Ghanaian fisherfolk to return home or look for alternative place of abode in order to avoid embarrassment. Peter Kwao Adato spoke to the acting head of mission, Harold Adayajaman.
Government of the Republic of Benin, in the latter part of 2016, began a program of action aimed at beautifying and improving sanitation and the environment across the cities and landing beaches. By December 31, affected persons, mostly encroachers on public lands, had been cleared. However, Ghanaian fishermen at Enanong, aka Akpakpa-Dodome, who were said to have occupied 125 meters of affected land from the shoreline, were given up to Friday, July 28 to relocate. This, according to the Ghana mission in Benin, was to give parents ample time to relocate their wards during the long vacation. But why was the Ghanaian community targeted?
The space was required 125 meters away from the shoreline to carry out two projects. The first is a sea defense project because of the erosion of the sea shoreline, and the second is an access route that needed to be created to link the Cotonou port.
A protest from the affected Ghanaians moved the embassy to ask for an extension and a repatriation plan.
We have made a representation for some bit of time to enable the Ghanaian nationals, because they are not perhaps Beninese nationals here, to have some time to relocate up to the end of September. The government has not been able to give a commitment to that yet. And so we are still anticipating and awaiting that response.
Despite the embassy asking residents of Akpakpa Dodome to register their intended plan of action, they were adamant.
But so far, none of them has shown an interest to go back to Ghana. And as you know, you can't compel somebody to migrate if the person has a right of residence. And so we are waiting to see what their ultimate preference would be. And as an embassy, we would do what is necessary to support and facilitate them. One of our primary responsibilities here is to take care of their interest.
So we found out why the affected residents refused to register as directed by the embassy.
There are so many Beninois in Ghana, so do we Ghanaians in Benin. How is it that the Benin government will want to drive us out? I believe we deserve better.
Benin has estimated 5,000 Ghanaian population, with about 500 of them having identified with the Ghana mission in Cotonou.
Now to the North Gonja district of the northern region, and there some residents rely solely on drug peddlers for their health services. This is because CHIPS compounds that were supposed to be constructed by government only exist on documents. Here is Ibati Boka's report.
Over 60 communities, most of them inaccessible. The communities are located far away from health posts. Accessing healthcare from one of these means trekking long distances. Under the Accessible Health for All policy, Daboya was earmarked to have 15 community-based health planning and service centers, but only 5 have been completed and are operational. Interestingly, 4 others have been captured in the Assembly's document as completed and are operating, but it is not so in reality. Adam Siliasu is the district chief executive.
The chip compounds are not actually in place. Constructions are yet to begin. I don't know for what reason somebody could put that out there, but for one reason or the other, somebody said it was in place, it was operating. That is not the case.
It's on paper, so how did we get there?
Well, that one may be a question for somebody to answer. As far as I know, construction is yet to begin.
Kupoto community is one of the communities that has no CHIPS compound, but on paper it is indicated that a facility has been built for residents. The land earmarked for the CHIPS compound is now the hub of the charcoal business.
Construction is yet to begin, as far as I know, and to the best of my knowledge, the contract was awarded somewhere later part of 2016, and nothing has actually been done yet in terms of putting the chip compound in place. So whatever says the chip compound is in place, is operating, that is, I don't think he's talking about Kopoto.
The community lies 16 kilometers away from the under-resourced Daboya Polyclinic. With little option available to them, they rely on this drug peddler, their own source of health care when illness strike.
I have problems with my tummy, so each time he comes here, I buy more and keep, especially the antibiotics. I buy about 5 or 10 cedis for keep and take them anytime I'm in pain.
He said he feels stomach pains.
So what did you give him?
I give him stomach medicine.
Okay, what and what?
I gave him this thing.
What's the name of the...
Let me check and come.
But you forgot it?
I forgot it. But the medicine is plenty.
Okay.
Okay, I'll give him Opizo.
Kupoto, although was the hub of logging business, residents could not generate enough revenue to put up a health post on their own.
Let's now focus on the army worm invasion. And the North Gonja district is the second hardest hit by the fall army worm in Gonjaland in the northern region. Over 450 hectares have been affected. Eva Atiboka reports only 70 hectares have been recovered.
From afar, farms look healthy for a bumper harvest, but a closer look tells a different story. The fall armyworm has attacked every crop. Statistics from the Northern Regional Office of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture indicate the East and North Gonja districts are the hardest hits in Gonjaland. East Gonja has 1,245 hectares of maize farms affected, but 712 hectares have been sprayed, with 79.6 hectares completely destroyed. North Gonja's 453.2 hectares of farmlands are affected. 98.7 hectares have been sprayed, with 70 hectares recovered and 56.8 completely destroyed. Farmers say the statistics might not reflect the situation on the ground, as they claim extension officers have not been to their farms.
Nobody will be blamed except the farmers in that regard, because we have sent adequate information out there to report our cases. If 10 or 20 people are reported, to me, these are the only cases we have in the district, and we'll deal with them appropriately.
Adam Sumani has lost over 50 acres of maize farm.
Most farmers in Daboya are really crying. 60, 70, 100 and over acres, but everything is destroyed by the pest.
The district chief executive, Adams Iliasu, however, says the area has seen great improvements in the fight against the pest.
The minister went to Parliament and he made a categorical statement that the fall armyworm had been defeated. Is that the case within your community, your district?
Yes.
Been defeated?
Yes.
100%?
We can't say 100% because...
But defeat means 100%.
Well, if you get 95% done, yeah, you can make that conclusion.
Your farmers say it is not exactly the case.
Probably, I don't think it's North Gonja.
Farmers in the area disputed his claim.
If government can help, then government should hurry up. Otherwise, we will die.
It's some kind of worms who are destroying them. So we are appealing to government to support us with some medicine.
Yahuza Adam is a beneficiary of government's free chemicals distribution.
I had the chemicals, but it did not work. I bought some, but the story remained same.
You do not have to do one spray to get the worm off your field. And that is where some of them think that in total resources should come from government to take care of all the burden. You can imagine the number of farmers in northern region, and for that matter, if you look at the whole Ghana, if they are to provide everybody the 3 rounds of spray, the 4 rounds of spray, then that is some money. I wonder whether the government can really take.
Like Sumani, most farmers are now apprehensive for losing their investments and want government to increase efforts at fighting the worm.
Let's remain in the North Gonja district, and the people there are asking government for a thread manufacturing factory under the one district, one factory policy. Ivatiboka reports smoke weavers in the area import thread, other materials for their business.
Smoke is Daboya, and Daboya is smoke. That is the exact description of what the people of Daboya do for a living, though some others are into farming. The best smoke in Ghana comes from Daboya. What greets a first-time visitor is the number of weaving looms. Every home has one. Passed on from generation to generation, inhabitants are known for their quality handmade smokes. The production chain of the local fabric employs many. From dyeing through to the finished product, many depend on it for their livelihood. Women provide the chemicals for dyeing, and the dyeing pits are always full of active men engaged in income-generating activities. Other businesses also spring up from this to make their work complete. The smoke industry has reduced rural-urban migration. Most young men and women have stayed back to work in the industry.
After you completed SS, you don't have anything to do. Then you have yourself engaging yourself here. You don't go around, go to some places, suffer. You don't have a shelter, a place to sleep. Food problem will be there and other things. But if you are here, even if you don't have something to eat, when you go home, one will have, then you eat.
The challenge, however, is getting the needed materials to work with. They say a factory to produce the materials, especially the thread, will make their work excellent.
One VC, one factory, yes, to come and help us to do adaptation. Yeah, we need it. We need the cotton factory.
Away from the northern region, let me bring you the story about a baby born with 2 sexual organs. And this baby appears as a girl but has both male and female organs. We bring you a report by Odelia Ajiman Prempe.
Little Love, as I prefer to call her in the story in order to hide her identity, was born with both male and female organs. Doctors are yet to find out her sex. This can be done after an ultrasound scan is carried out. At 6 months, this baby has undergone temporal colostomy, a surgical procedure to enable him pass out feces. Unfortunately, Baby Love, as I choose to call her, did not live to undergo a surgery to determine his true sex, though the 3 Foundation was raising money to correct the deformity. This baby too has more than 1 male organ. His parents abandoned him when he was 6 months old and he was taken care of by a foster mother, Naomi. Doctors describe his condition as an abnormality of the sexual organ.
Talking about people who are born with a sexual organ not being either clearly male or clearly female. So we call it disorder of sexual development now. In other words, there's a disorder in the way the sexual organs, etc., developed.
At age 3, he had to use Pampers due to his condition, and he could not walk well. Fortunately for him, he was able to undergo successful surgery at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital in Accra after 3 Foundation paid for the cost of his surgery. The surgery lasted for 3 hours and gave hope to the little child. The mother, Naomi Amoa, expressed gratitude to the 3 Foundation.
When we rushed to TV3, they really accept us, and then if today they are in to support Emmanuel Boateng's surgery, we say God bless them.
Doctors say the condition of the child, if not corrected, could affect one's productive ability.
Quite a number of people may be able to have sexual intercourse, but only a few actually do give birth.
In Ghana, 10 to 12 cases of babies born with both male and female organs are recorded annually.
In terms of cultural effects, I'm convinced that such a person born would have very difficult being in areas where the genitalia may be exposed. Even you have a challenge when parents have to leave the child with somebody else. They get disturbed by that condition and cannot leave a child unless somebody else who really understands and goes by is there. Otherwise, they tend not to be able to go out to do any work.
Doctors say such abnormalities can be corrected and must be reported.
I believe that in our society, and this is not based on a scientific study, I would say that those who have it are the best route. And in our society, it's something difficult to handle if not detected early.
Intersex people, formerly known as hermaphrodites, are people born with bodies that are difficult to classify as either male or female.
Right. People living near the satellite station at Kuntunsi in the Gambwest municipality will suffer severe health problems if they do not relocate. The facility, when operational, will release radioactive waves which will negatively affect the health of people living close to it.
The Kuntunsi satellite station was established and inaugurated by former President Hilary Liman to facilitate communication. However, modernity and acquisition of new technology by telecommunication industries has rendered the facility virtually not useful. As part of efforts to rejuvenate the facility, 9 African countries, including Ghana, won a bid to host the world's biggest radio astronomy telescope in the facility. The $2 billion project is partly funded by the South African government and is expected to serve astronomers from around the world when completed. However, the area earmarked as buffer zone for the radio astronomy telescope project has been taken over by the illegal settlers. The Gambwest Municipal Chief Executive Neil Lamte Wilkinson, in the company of some municipal heads of department, were on the land to halt further development. The radio astronomy telescope is expected to be inaugurated by President Akufo-Addo in late August this year. The entourage later visited Pokwasi Junction, where hawkers had taken over portions of the main Accra-Nsawam road. The municipal chief executive, who was unhappy, directed them to vacate the street.
In other news, President Akufo-Addo has reiterated the government is committed to setting up a national research fund at the 9th Congregation of the University for Professional Studies, Accra. He indicated it is to complement the book and research allowance.
I wish also to confirm that the government is committed to setting up the National Research Fund to provide vitally needed resources for academia to carry out problem-solving research and innovation in support of national development priorities. For the avoidance of doubt, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is expected to complement the books and research allowances, not to replace it. In fact, Mr. Chancellor, the draft bill on the National Research Fund has been prepared, and we are currently collecting views of key stakeholders to finalize it. And I also want to acknowledge, Mr. Vice Chancellor, your lamentations about the directive on ceding of some part of your IGF to the Ministry of Finance. This is a matter that affects all the institutions, and as you might expect, the Vice Chancellor's Ghana and other representative bodies have elaborately petitioned on this matter and is currently receiving attention.
You're watching News 360 from the News Hub, and still to come tonight. Danger looms at Akwemufi in the eastern region as a huge rock hangs loose on a main road linking the area to Atimpoko, Adome and other communities.
Also, you've been watching these satirical pieces on TV3 and on 3news.com. But who is Tilapia? A man or woman? Stay with us as we bring you the details in a moment.
Details of our stories coming up shortly. Do stay with us.
Welcome back. Let's continue with the rest of the news. And in a bid to enhance the productive capacity of women in rural areas for sustainable livelihood, the United Nations Development Programme has supported women in Kenya State No. 3 in the Ashanti region with a gari processing cook stove. Now, the energy efficient and environmentally friendly stoves will also reduce health risk associated with using the traditional methods.
In rural Ghana, women who earn their income from gari processing are exposed to heat and smoke as they cannot access modern processing equipment. Such harsh environmental hazards threaten the economic empowerment of women to attain the Sustainable Development Goals 1, 2, 5, and 8. About 90% of women at Kenya State No. 3 in the Bono Ahafo region earn their income from gari processing. Most of the women have been in this business for decades because of its profitability, but lack of modern machines to enable them increase production is a challenge. Even more, the women are exposed to heat and smoke dangerous to their health. UNDP has supported women in Kenya State with 8 gari processing cook stoves. Dora Sankwa, a beneficiary, expressed optimism that gari processing cook stoves will change their fortunes. Communications analyst for UNDP Ghana, Bosman Owusu, said the intervention is part of measures to assist Ghana achieve the Sustainable Development Goals.
With any income they're able to generate from this activity, they're able to meet their health needs, they're able to support the education of their children. It is providing direct employment. It is improving the involvement of women in economic activity.
UNDP also presented a check of 20,000 cedis to assist in the construction of a training and working center for the Gari processors.
The India High Commission has commended Ghana for its achievements after 60 years of independence, even as it also marks 70 years of freedom. The High Commissioner, Birender Singh, charged Ghanaians to utilize the educational facilities available to add to the country's developmental agenda.
For its technological advancement with global reaching tentacles, Ghana, however, is blamed as having a development gap despite its 60 years of independence. But the Indian High Commissioner, Birender Singh, maintains the educational institutions are enough assets for the country.
I think worldwide Indian community is known for being law-abiding, for being non-political, and for putting all their efforts and energy towards economic development. And you have excellent educational institutions, so you have your own strengths.
The High Commissioner noted Ghana and India have more opportunities which can be explored to improve the ties between the two countries. In commemoration of the 70 years of freedom, a Minister of State from India will visit Ghana to partake in the activities. A classical dance performance will be held at the National Theatre on August 14 and a business forum on August 16. The climax of the celebration will be an exhibition to create partnerships and collaborations which will feature 45 businesses.
Danger is looming at Akwamufie in the eastern region as a huge rock hangs loose on the main road linking the area to Atimpoku, Adomi and other communities. The Volta River remains an option, but the only boat there is in a poor shape and breaks down regularly. Akosue J. Sono reports the community and its environs will soon be cut off if urgent attention is not given.
The road links Adomi Bridge to Akwamufie, a major farming and industrial community in the Sujaman district. But currently, the area is inaccessible owing to a portion of the road which is caved in. The 8-kilometer road has been continuously washed away. A temporary road was constructed to help save the situation, but that is also weakening the mountain, causing its chippings to fall off whenever it rains. The development has resulted in the exposure of a huge rock hanging loosely on top of the mountain. This is yet to catch the attention of the relevant authorities and remain a ticking time bomb. Commuters are worried about the situation. Assemblyman for the area, Stephen Edu Akwa, stressed on the need for urgent attention.
Now nothing is going on. I think the road is just left like that. But they promise us this road be done in a month's time.
The chief of the area, Odenehun Nanakwa Afakoto, wants the Ghana Highway Authority to come in to prevent any disaster.
Our roads are very bad. From Marine to Jakiti, west. From Apegusu to Mpakadan, unpassable.
The turbulence continues to eat away the road each day.
Vehicles keep plying this stretch, and if this rock hanging loosely falls on the road, the casualties will be unimaginable.
Work on an alternative road to get the residents connected to other parts of the country has stalled. The only visible sign of work is the installation of culverts, but residents say the project has stalled. Pedestrians who are afraid to ply the road owing to its current state would have to go through Dropong, Nudu, Abuaso, Apebusu, and Mpakadan before reaching Akwamufie. The last option is the use of this dilapidated boat. Commuters say the unavailability of life jackets on the boat is a daunting journey. Until the road is fixed, the situation will continue to stifle economic activities at Akwamufie.
Away from the eastern region, the remains of the late Lance Corporal Michael Boyi has been laid to rest at the Osu Cemetery that Saturday, August 12. The 32-year-old Lance Corporal met his untimely death on June 22 when he was shot by armed robbers on his way to work.
The late number 52071 Lance Corporal Michael Boyi met his untimely death after he was detailed for motorbike patrol duty on Monday, June 12. The promising constable then became the target for some notorious armed gang who opened fire on him without any provocation, leading to his death. The shy but thoughtful, loving, caring, respectful, dutiful and God-fearing Lance Corporal Michael Boyi joined the Ghana Police Service in 2013 and was posted to the Rapid Deployment Force upon graduation. He was later transferred to Tema Regional Command, where he met his untimely death. His final funeral rites at the National Police Training School attracted men including the Inspector General of Police, David Asantia Pietu, and other high-ranking police officers. Tributes were read from the Ghana Police, his mother, his siblings, the Boyi family and friends. The remains of the late number 52071 General Lance Corporal was later interred at the Osu Cemetery.
Now, the NDC Member of Parliament for Sanergo, Alhaji A.B.A. Fuseni, wants the NDC to clip the wings of citizen vigilante Martin Amidu for comments he describes as destructive for the party. He also wants the National Democratic Congress to give John Mahama a chance to lead the party into the 2020 elections.
Let me say that a party will always be better with all its membership intact. But there comes a time when the membership of when especially they've shown a knack that they are cooperating with the other side. And I can say that if you see what Martin Amidu is doing now, he's more predisposed to the MPP than even the NDC, which he claims is his party.
You don't think he's still an NDC member?
He's consciously running the NDC down.
How do you prove that?
These utterances. How do you tie a whole party with a branch of corruption? He comes and says the NDC is corrupt.
Is he not right in the things he says?
He's very wrong. President John Dramani Mahama handed over a peaceful, orderly, and stable country. Today, people cannot sleep. And that is why we say that if you send your son to the hereafter, you may not recognize him.
If you send your son to where?
To the hereafter.
You may not recognize him.
You will return, but you won't recognize him. If you transform your son into a monster, you'll be among the first to be devoured. They have created monsters through the culture of impunity, where they allow MPP people to infract the law, to engage in infractions of the law, and they cannot touch them. You see the Delta forces, the invisible forces, they are wreaking havoc the length and breadth of this country, and nobody, because they cannot touch them. They are afraid that any policeman who goes to arrest them, they will deal with you, you will lose your job and others. So that's why we have a culture of impunity pervading the length and breadth of this country. And this country is no longer safe.
Thank you very much.
So Ghanaians are now seeing what? Let me give you the last one.
Give me.
You don't realize the importance of your buttocks until you have a boil on it. People are now realizing the importance of the work President Mahama did. Okay. And they are saying that, oh God, we made a mistake.
We have sports news coming up shortly with Thierry Nyan. Tonight in this segment, TV3's caricature and political cartoon brand Tilapia Cartoons is fast catching on, but have you wondered how those satirical masterpieces are generated? Also, Warai walks us through the creative world of the cartoonist Tilapia.
S-Pling on the track.
Caricatures are loved by many as it affords them some good laugh. TV3's caricature brand Tilapia Cartoon is second to none when it comes to eliciting hilarity. Born Michael Tete Ajekbe, Tilapia is the creator of the amusing masterpieces. hammer packing out of the Flagstaff house. Nana Konedu and DKB make peace. Perfecting his act didn't come easy.
I had this mate. I didn't know how to draw by then, so I will beg him to teach me, but he will rather ask for money before he would draw for me and stuff. One day we were given an assignment to draw a car. He didn't. In fact, that day I wept and I prayed to God to bless me with a talent.
Out of the determination to improve his poor drawing skills, he fell in love with the art form.
That day when I went home, I tried to sketch my siblings. We had a family album, so I went through and tried to sketch. So that was how it all started. And as I kept practicing, my sketches improved.
He was hugely inspired by the cartoon work of Electra when he enrolled at the Vision Art School to pursue art professionally.
The moment I saw the work, I fell in love with it. That's how come I started pursuing cartooning.
Tilapia now sketches with mastery, and his works are admired by many. Beyond creating humor, the cartoons are intended to highlight issues, bad conducts, and unpopular policies.
I make sure I don't go personal. You just ridicule issues and leave it there. I make it in a way that even the characters involved, when they see it, they love it. Nana Konedu came to TV3 and requested for a particular cartoon. So even the characters love it, and that's the way it should be.
The caricatures of the skilled cartoonist are hugely inspired by trending topics.
We want you to walk us through how your typical day is like.
In fact, I would say I scavenge for news. I get what the topical issues are. As soon as I get the mental picture of what I want to portray, I do a rough sketch. Then I will find a way of adding spices to make that tilapia delicious, you know. That's how come when you see it, you love it.
But before inking the masterpiece, the work is passed on to colleagues and editors to critique it. Inking is then done, after which he paints using Photoshop. The gifted cartoonist is certainly proud of his hard-earned feats and hopes to remain at the top of his game.
That's tilapia for you. Isa, did you see tilapia?
I think the fish tilapia is more recognizable than what I saw. It was in a flash, so it's difficult to recognize him. But he does great work.
Yeah, so keep watching TV3 News as we bring you more and our subsequent bulletins on who tilapia is.
And also remember the finals of Ghana's Strongest. It's on at Achimota Mall tomorrow. That's the finals at 2 p.m. So make it 8. Don't miss it. I'm Isa Moni. Thanks for watching the news tonight.
And I am Portia Gabo. Coming up is music.